David Menzies for Rebel News here in Toronto. And folks, I'm at Allen Gardens. It really is a gem of a park. Well, most of the time, not lately. It's home to the Allen Gardens Conservatory, an edifice that dates back more than a century, and it's just chock-a-block with tropical plants and rarefied flowers. Beautiful, but thanks to the city not enforcing the Trespass Act, look what's happened. Allen Gardens is a filthy tent city. Violence and illegal drug use abound, and it looks like there is no political will to do anything about this. Now, before I get more into my report here, folks, what I'd like you to do is go to our new website, fixourcities.com. That's fixourcities.com. We intend to shed a light on municipal infrastructure across Canada. Fixourcities.com. That's fixourcities.com. We are amassing a petition to indicate to our elected officials that this is completely unacceptable, that parkland and other areas are now somehow no-go zones in Justin Trudeau's Canada. It's absolutely shameful, and if you can, kindly make a donation. We don't receive any government funding. We want to bring you the kind of journalism that the mainstream media would never dare to present. As you can see, there is garbage strewn everywhere. There must be approximately 100 tents. There are squatters. It is not unusual to find people smoking crack or to come across a discarded syringe here. And yet they are getting away with it. Law enforcement and their political masters are turning a blind eye to the disgrace that is Allen Gardens. I can tell you, the local councillor, Chris Moyes, he has been campaigning for something to be done, although it seems that his pleas are falling on deaf ears. Here's what Mr. Moyes posted back in May. Quote, "This public park has become a private party grounds with music blaring, regular campfires, and rampant open drug dealing day and night. The park is unsafe for everyone. There have been sexual assaults, stabbings, and overdoses happening regularly. Residents have reported to me that they have witnessed and experienced racist, sexist, and homophobic verbal attacks, intimidation, as well as aggressive and violent behavior, including physical assault. I have personally experienced this as well on my own walks through the park." End quote. Now, we did reach out to Mr. Moyes, but he declined to get back to us, and we also reached out to the City of Toronto. We are awaiting their reply. But in the meantime, what should be a gem in the middle of downtown Toronto in terms of a parkland oasis, it is downright dangerous here. It looks pretty gruesome during the daytime. I can only imagine what it would be during night, folks. And why is it being tolerated? Why is the City of Toronto not having the police come in? Because as far as I can tell, there are perhaps more than 10 sections of the Trespass Act being violated here. But I have a theory as to why the city is not doing anything. Indeed, I think a big reason why the politicians and law enforcement are hamstrung in terms of doing anything here at Allen Gardens is because of the Ombudsman's report that came out last year. That was penned by Toronto Ombudsman Kwame Addo, and Addo criticized police and firefighters very severely who cleared out the illegal encampment of another Toronto park. That would be Trinity Bellwoods, located west of here. Now, the thing is, folks, Trinity Bellwoods, when it was cleaned out, was also a vile tent city. It was also dangerous. And yes, I speak from bitter experience. Check out what happened to me in the month of September when we went to Trinity Bellwoods to try and file a report about that encampment. This is really rich. There are people here breaking the Trespass Act.
Please move. Move. I don't like myself being filmed. You know, I have the right to actually smash that camera right now.
I wouldn't do that.
I have the right to smash that.
Hey,
Don't do that.
By law, I have the right to smash that.
You
right?
have the right to smash that camera by
Yeah,
law?
yeah. By law, you know I have to
hey.
smash that camera.
What law are you quoting? You know, I still have the fang marks in my thigh from that dog attack. I mean, and what was the city thinking, really, to have a crack addict in control of a dangerous dog, which he didn't really control? And yet, the bitter irony was this. During that same period, law-abiding citizens had to remain in so-called social distancing circles, or they would be issued a fine of $880. Thank you once again for some more of your legacy, disgraced ex-mayor John Tory.
During the pandemic, I developed a relationship with an employee in my office in a way that did not meet the standards to which I hold myself as mayor and as a family man. The relationship ended by mutual consent earlier this year. During the course of our relationship, some time ago, the employee decided to pursue employment outside City Hall and secured a job elsewhere. I recognize that permitting this relationship to develop was a serious error in judgment on my part. It came at a time when Barb, my wife of 40-plus years, and I were enduring many lengthy periods apart while I carried out my responsibilities during the pandemic. As a result, I've decided that I will step down as mayor so that I can take the time to reflect on my mistakes and to do the work of rebuilding the trust of my family.
But the fact remains, Ombudsman Addo is a woke disgrace. He seems to be more concerned about the rights and feelings and sensitivities of homeless people and even criminals, more so than the taxpayers who fund his very salary. Unbelievable. And there is another problem when it comes to Allen Gardens, folks, and that is this. Allen Gardens is one of 3 City of Toronto parks that have been designated as a sacred fire site. It's all part of reconciliation with Indigenous people. So it is that the city itself actually provides firewood, a fire bowl, an ash bin, and other infrastructure to maintain people, well, camping out overnight, blaring music, and taking drugs. Maybe the intentions of the City of Toronto are good-willed, but I ask you folks, look at the results. There is some perverse irony, I think, when it comes to Allen Gardens, folks, and it's this. As politicians and law enforcement continue to turn a blind eye to the illegal occupation of Allen Gardens, at the same time, the City of Toronto is investing millions of dollars into a renovation of Palm House. But the question arises, is this indeed money well spent? Oh yes, the flora inside the gorgeous historical building that is Palm House, it is indeed a feast for the eyes, and in stark contrast to the garbage-strewn parkland that occupies Allen Gardens these days. But given the state of this park, when Palm House reopens in the winter of next year, how many families are going to come here? How many are going to walk through Allen Gardens itself to get to this historical edifice, given that Allen Gardens is now, and for the foreseeable future, a no-go zone? For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Folks, it's a sad state of affairs in Canada, isn't it? We are seeing San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, those types of Democrat-run cities moving north. And the result, well, we have hellholes existing in our great dominion. We got to put an end to this. We got to reclaim our cities. So go to fixourcities.com. That's fixourcities.com. Sign our petition, and if you're able to, make a donation so that we can continue to bring you this kind of journalism.